Welcome to day 3 of your return to exercise postpartum strength program with Jules. As promised, we're going to start with our pelvic floor breathing today. We're going to do this on our sides. So just bring in a new position into the picture. Try not to hit my microphone for you, but yeah, get cozy on your side. You can prop your head up if you have a microphone or not. You can even have a pillow. Pillows are great. But yeah, we're just gonna lay here comfortably. As we inhale and feel that balloon effect inside our abdominal cavity, we want to see if we can feel a little bit of pressure on those ribs on that side that is connecting with the floor. We can even put our hands on the rib cages on top to feel that expansion out to the side. And as the air comes into our pelvis, let's go ahead and relax that pelvic floor. Yes, and exhale. Feel that pelvic floor draw in. A little lift to the rib cage. You might not come off the mat. That's not the point. But just feeling the less pressure there, and that rib cage might come down in the front. So again, inhale. Relax pelvic floor. Exhale. Lightly draw in. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Relaxing those muscles. Exhale. Light squeeze. Actually, let's pause there and do the other side. We'll do 3 or 4 laying on the other side. Said it before, I'll say it again. We are not symmetrical beings, so it might feel different. Better, worse, different. Doesn't have to be good or bad. Neutral. But yeah, see if you have any differences on this side. Again, rib cage if you want to. Making contact with the floor as you inhale. Relax pelvic floor. Exhale. Light squeeze. Draw that rib cage slightly down and in. Not even down, just slightly in. All right, inhale. Relax pelvic floor. Exhale. Light squeeze. 2 more here. Awesome. As always, if you want to do more or do some in a different position right now while you have the time and space for yourself, please pause the video, do a few more of those breaths, get that connection going so those muscles are ready to work for us, especially in conjunction, right, with the rest of our core unit, of course, our hips as well. And we're going to come into a half kneel position here. So 90-90 with our legs. If this bugs your knee and you don't have a pillow, well, stick a pillow or blanket underneath there, by all means. But if in general this is not very stable or comfortable for you, you can come up and do a little stagger. Just like this, a little stagger with the feet. But we're going to do a bone arrow stretch. Hands come together. Twist open to one side all the way, looking towards those fingertips. But I'm trying to keep my hips from my hips will turn. Trying to keep this knee from collapsing in. So I want to keep this knee straight over my toe as I open up. But we'll feel a little bit stretch on the inside here and then come back together. Other side, we're going to inhale to open. Get that nice twist on the spine. Again, this knee's straight. Don't let it move. And exhale back to center. Inhale, open. Relax the pelvic floor. Bring it in. Why not? And exhale, light. Squeeze that pelvic floor back to center. One more other way. Inhale, twist, relax, exhale, light center, light squeeze back to center. Let's do 1 more on this side. And by this side, I mean this knee. Oh, I think that was 3 total each side, each direction. Now we're going to the other side. Again, 90-90, and also stand if you want the stagger. Inhale, twist open, keep that knee tracking over your toe. Exhale, light squeeze the pelvic floor, back together. Inhale, twist open, knee stays forward. Exhale, back to center. I'll stop talking and just do it. Oh, yes. Here's the last one. Yeah, nice little warm up on the arms too, trying to keep them up that whole time. All good there. All right, let's come down to all fours. We're gonna come into a down dog. We're gonna pedal out our down dog. So starting in a nice active all fours position, tuck the toes under, hips go up and back. If you need to readjust here, you can bring your hands forward, your feet slightly more behind you, so that we can really press through with our head and get a nice straight line from our wrists to our hips. I have a pretty tenuous bend in my knee right now. Some folks have probably better hamstring and ankle mobility than me, which is just fine. If you can get to the heels of the ground, great. If not, we're more concerned again with that straight arm and straight back. And we're gonna pedal it out, get a little hip action in. 3, 4, 5, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 10 pedals. We can pause and go slow and stretch it more if we need to. Or go fast if you feel like you need that this morning with our down dog pedals. And then we're gonna come back to all fours and do some hip cars. In the pelvic floor video, I showed you these standing. They're just big hip rotations from the hip socket joint. I'll show you at an angle here. So we're doing it from all fours instead of standing. Yeah, so first thing to note is that I never want to do this. I don't want to cat-cow this. I want to keep engaged in those transverse lower abs so my back stays straight the whole time and my pelvis stays still. I don't want to be moving it up and down or opening it or closing it. That makes sense. So my leg's going to come up with the ground. I'm going to bring my knee forward slightly, and I'm going to internally rotate. So I'm going to bring my heel out and my knee slightly in, and I'm going to do a big circle. Again, trying really hard not to open too much. With that hip, knee forward again, internally rotate. So this hip socket is coming in, that knee is coming slightly in with it, and that heel is going slightly out, and keeping that big circle again. One more time on this side. Internally rotate. Try to keep that internal rotation all the way around. Rest back in all fours for a second. Check in with my spine. Make sure I'm not dumping again. Nice and active, pushing through the hands. And then I'm going to flex that foot and I'm going to push it back. Not to here. Keeping that lower abs on and that back straight. I'm not dumping that hip. I'm going to push my heel up just enough to feel my glutes turn on, and then I am going to externally rotate. So my hip, not raising my pelvis, but I am opening up the hip and doing a big forward circle. The heel goes up, out with a knee, big forward circle. One more, out with a knee, big forward circle. Less is more on this, meaning I want you to push the outer limit of that mobility on your hip, but I don't want you to go so big again that you are using your spine to rotate, right? This is just for the pelvis. So being mindful of which joint you're using. All right, so forward, internally rotate. We're gonna do 3 on this leg as well. Oh, don't dump that lower back, Jules. Keep that internal rotation. Awesome. And then kick it back just slightly open, big circle around. So this is not only working on our hip mobility, also giving a nice stretch and range of motion to our pelvic floor. Yay! I love that. Oh, I'm getting warm already. Last little bit here, last exercise to do in our warm-up is going to be a Cuban press without any weight. So we're going to have a goalpost arms here. We're going to stick them over our head. We're going to bring them back down. We're going to rotate into like a scarecrow and then go straight back down to our sides. Raise those elbows up, scarecrow, goalpost. Hooray, overhead. The idea here is to work on that shoulder mobility. So I want you to press behind you as far as you can and press here as far as you can go back without doing this with our spine, right? So same idea, we're doing a nice neutral stacking. And by neutral, I also don't mean that I'm tucking under. Whenever I say ribs over hips, which I have already done a lot and I will say more, we're not like tilting here. We're still keeping like I'm standing. There's a natural positioning of my pelvis slightly forward. So ribs are just down over them, meaning I'm not like overextending there or tucking down in and arching, right? So it's not like I'm trying to get that pelvis back at all. I want it to be in that neutral position. Okay, enough about that. Yeah, this should just be for our shoulders. Our lower body wants to stay static and still. So down, here, up, over. Push. Really being also mindful that I'm not scrunching my neck up. I want to have this just be for my shoulders. And, well, yeah, shoulder mobility mostly. But yeah, we're warming up our entire arms here as well. Let's do one more. However many that was, 6-ish. Perfect. All right, and just like days 1 and 2, we're gonna do a 10-minute main workout where I'm gonna push the time and we're gonna go through all the exercises together. You can go faster or slower depending on how it feels for you, but we're just gonna move our bodies continuously for 10 minutes. And the other fun thing is we only need one piece of equipment today, and that is a single weight. It can be a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or a water bottle with a lid, not a jar, a jar with a lid. That's it. Otherwise, my bench and my things here are just to hold everything. The pillow is going to be for our bonus, so if you want to grab that now, you totally can. Okay, so I'm going to get the timer on, and we're going in 3, 2, 1. 10 minutes on the clock. All right, air squats. So we're moving away from our box squat. If you feel better sitting to a box like we did in day 1, by all means, please sit to something. Otherwise, we're just going to bring our feet outside of the shoulder width. We're going to put our hips back and down. We're going to push our knees out, pretend like we're screwing off a lid on a jar to keep those knees tracking out. Or keep my chest nice and high. I like to put my arms out again just to make sure I'm keeping my shoulders back and down. So I'm not coming forward onto my toes, sitting back like I'm going to a chair. Again, a box is there, chair is there if you need it. We're doing 8 to 10 of these. Go as deep as you feel comfortable. I don't want you feeling like you're gonna fall over backwards. All good. All right, I think that was probably plenty. Next is a flamingo. A little bit of balance here for you. Ground down through one of my feet. I'm starting with my left. I'm going to bring my arms overhead. I'm going to kind of shrug them down so I have no neck tension. Other leg comes up. If this is enough, go ahead and feel free to just challenge your balance here. Work on balance for however long you can. If it feels okay for you, get a little bend in that front knee. We're going to come into like a warrior 3 position, keeping these hips square to the floor. So I don't want to be here. I want to square those hips. And then I'm going to rotate back up. Nice, slow, controlled. Knee comes up. Weight stays in that midfoot on that standing foot, so I'm not gripping with my toes. Yes, if I can stay on this leg the whole time for 4 to 5, awesome. If I need to take a break, I can bring this leg down, shake it out a little, and then start over. So break as much as you need, depending on how this feels on your hamstring, on your balance, and all those stabilizer muscles. And here we go, the other side. So I think I did 4 there. I'm going to aim for 4 on this leg. Oh, yes, come over until, as far as you can go until you really feel that hamstring tension and or you start to lean forward, because I want you to keep that nice flat back. Knee comes up, a little bit in this knee. Reach and stretch forward, keeping my back flat, my hips down, and back up. Here I go if I need to reset. Back up and rotate out. If I need to reset here again, down, shake it out. Last one, I think. Bend in the knee, and here. Again, if you just want to practice your balance, good opportunity for it. Stop and breathe, Jewel, stop and breathe. Okay. Third exercise is a half kneel push press. We're going to be back in that half kneel position that we were in our warm up. Again, if that's uncomfortable for you, go ahead and stagger. All good. We're going to do a single arm press. So the arm with the opposite leg that is forward. You're going to bring that weight up towards your shoulder. You can even rest it there, but I want your elbow forward. We're going to use our core, squeeze our glutes, and press that weight up overhead. So we do want this to be active engagement with the lower body and the core as we press. But it is a strict press. We're coming down with that elbow forward every time, and we're ending with that arm right by our ear, and our head and neck is neutral with our spine. So we're not ending out here or back here to arch. Right there. Tap the shoulder lightly. Try and get that full range of motion. Don't short yourself. And 6 to 8 per side. Again, opposite knee forward. If you need to stagger, stand and stagger. Perfect. Press. Microphone's in the way. Hopefully you didn't get an ear full of static. Maybe my breath, my heavy breathing. All right, and our fourth exercise is a bird dog. So no weights needed on this one either. I'm a little picky about my bird dogs. I want to be really careful that you're not swinging like this. So I want you to stick your leg out first, nice and straight. Lift it just as far as you can for a little bit of glute engagement. Feel those lower abs turn on, and they should be on so you're not dumping down. Again, I've said that before, right? You want to keep the lower back out of it. Add on the opposite arm, right up by your ear. This hip stays down and square to the floor, and then alternate sides. Leg goes out, light lift as you bring the opposite arm only as high as you feel that engagement. Don't overextend. Keep it there. Switch sides. And down. There's 3, 4. Again, go as slow as you need to make sure you're not doing this jankiness. Just nice and slow. Really concentrate on those lower abs turning on for you. If you really wanted to, if you're feeling real good about your pelvic floor engagement or connection, I should say, you can bring this into a pelvic floor squeeze as you lift and a relax as you come down. So don't forget about the relax. Don't just squeeze. Light squeeze up, relax, take your time, make sure you're fully relaxed, and switch to the other side. Here's my last one. Relax the pelvic floor at the bottom. Light squeeze that pelvic floor as I come into that bird dog. Awesome. All right, back to the air squats. That took me a while. I'm always explaining a lot in that first round. We're going to go a little bit faster, up and down. You don't have to go this fast. Totally up to you. And 9. I'm not actually counting right. Maybe that was 10. Flamingos. 4 each side. A little bit in that front knee. Sorry, plant. Not gripping my toes. Hips stay square. Reset if I need to. Make sure I'm keeping that bend. Make sure I'm not scrunching my shoulders up either here. I'm keeping them loose. If you want to do this without the arms overhead, totally acceptable. Just make sure your balance is still feeling okay. So like on your hips, you can keep them on your hips if your shoulders are tired. Making sure we just keep that chest high and that back flat. Hip square. There's a good correction. Did you guys see that one? So easy to want to do this. Oh, keep it there. Keep that stretch across. All right. A little over 3 minutes. Half kneel push press. Coming back to the mat. Knee down. Here's the stagger. I'll show you the stagger this time. Stagger. Arm out in front just for counterbalance. Tapping that shoulder with my weight every time. Making sure I'm right by my ear. I'm not coming out here. Awesome. Stagger other side. Microphone down. Awesome. Looks like I was pinching my boob. All right. Bird dogs. If you like to do this on the breath, start with a relax. And exhale. Light squeeze the pelvic floor. And return. Inhale, relax pelvic floor. Exhale, light squeeze the pelvic floor. Awesome. And you can keep that squeeze all the way down, right? So inhale, exhale, squeeze. Keep the squeeze until you come back. Yes, one more on each side. Is that one more on each side? Oh gosh, I'm so bad, I don't know. All right, back to the beginning. Air squats to a box if you wish, of course. Send those hips back and down. Make sure my knees are tracking out. had to stop talking so I could actually count right. Cooking goes. I'll face forward, that way you can really watch my hips this time. Make sure they're staying square. Oh, and again, if you put your hands in your hips without them being up in the air, it makes it a little bit easier to check in with them. So you can be like, oh yeah, hips need to be square. Yep, reset. A little bit in that knee. Back stays nice and flat. Less than a minute. See if we can get through the rest of this round. Feeling sweaty today. Ooh. That means I need a little water, which, speaking of, break for water if you need. Hopefully that's obvious. Oh. As I'm coming down, also remember my head and neck are neutral. Not letting my head go like this. Or tucking my chin down. Opposite arm in the leg. 90-90. Engaged core, engaged glutes. Hold the microphone. Full range of motion on that arm. What? Already? Didn't quite make it through. Good work, you guys. Quickly caught my breath. Gonna get a sip of water. Put my weight away. I'm moving on to my bonus. If you've had it, if you're done, go ahead and get in a stretch. Call it a day. Call it a day 3. But otherwise, if you'd like to do a little adductor squeezing, follow along with me. I have a pillow I'm going to fold in half. It's kind of small. I actually probably would prefer a bigger pillow. Maybe I can fold it double. If you have a pillow or a yoga ball, like the small balls, not like a huge ball, it would be hard. Something that's not too heavy, but that is soft, that you can put between your legs. I don't want it right up my knee joint. I want it slightly inside. I'm going to lay back on my back. Get cozy there. Check out my ponies in my way. And if you need to adjust your feet in or out, depending on how big your ball or object is you're squeezing, you want to be able to squeeze it in without your knees really collapsing. So like adjust your feet so that you're starting at least in a neutral position with that object, if that makes sense. We're just going to do like 5 or 6 squeezes, and we're going to hold them for a count of 3. So we're going to inhale. Relax pelvic floor, feel ribcage expansion. Exhale, light squeeze the pelvic floor. Squeeze and turn on those lower abs and turn on the glutes as we squeeze that object. So we should feel that inner thigh. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Release. Oh yeah, that was longer than 3 seconds, I think. All right, inhale. Exhale, squeeze object. Turn on those abs, squeeze, and release. Awesome. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Release. It's hard to squeeze and count. Maybe I won't. I'll count in my head. You can follow along with me. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Relax. All right, we're going to do one more. Inhale, relax. And exhale, squeeze. Ah, yes. Relax, remove that pillow. Let your knees fall side to side. Arms can be out to the sides. A little windshield wiper action. Should feel good. Might feel the chest a little bit, just letting it open up with those arms out. All right, we're going to do 4 or 5 more of these squeezes. We'll do a little stretching. Be done. All right, again, not right at the knee joint, slightly inside. Adjust the feet as you need to. Inhale. Ribcage expands, relax pelvic floor. Exhale. We're squeezing the pelvic floor. We're squeezing the object. We're squeezing those abs, core, and release. All the things, except for our necks. It should just be in this lower region. Don't right at the top. So inhale, relax, exhale, squeeze. Hold, and relax. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Relax. Put that soft object that you were squeezing aside, arms out, straight, maybe slightly up, cactus. Get that nice again, stretch across the chest. Let those knees fall side to side. When I'm yawning. Okay, we're gonna come up. Maybe roll to the side, that's always easier. Push up into a butterfly stretch, just like we did in, elementary school. So bottoms of our feet are touching together. If it feels okay for you to bring them closer, bring them as close as you feel comfortable, but I want you to be able to keep a flat back. So if you can't, you can leave them out and just kind of press down here lightly. The closer they're in, the more you're going to feel that stretch on the inside, but whatever is okay here. Again, trying to sit up as best we can as we do this. If you're like, no, I can't get forward, you can always put your back against a wall, and that support is going to keep that back flat, so you can feel the stretch a little bit deeper. So you don't necessarily have to lean forward if you're really struggling to keep that structure. That back will help, and it'll just sitting against it sometimes will help that stretch in here. This is a good pelvic floor stretch. It's kind of like a seated happy baby in a way. You're always welcome to put your legs out even farther if you want. You can do like the traditional butterfly flap. But yeah, find what feels good. If it's okay for you to lean forward on it, do that. That's an option as well. Lots of ways to kind of, work through this butterfly stretch. Remembering that it is for the inside pelvic floor and all the muscles that are attached to our pelvis, but we don't want it to be straining our lower back. Just be mindful of that. We're going to turn this now into a twist. So we're going to put one leg out straight. Actually, let's just do both legs out straight. If, again, this is hard for your hamstrings, you can bring your feet flat here. That's fine too. We're going to be one arm behind us, one arm up, twist across the side, or just putting a hand lightly on the side. We're going to look over our back shoulder. So as long as our back is straight, however we want to get some tension for that twist, this is just for the spine, we can. So legs might be straight, they might be up. You might have to lean a little. But again, flat back, whatever works for you there. And other side. Oh, looking over that shoulder, nice slow controlled twist. Us. Back to center. We're going to roll down on our backs. Do a full body stretch on the floor to end today. So point the toes, arms overhead. Big reach and stretch. Oh, yes. Roll the wrists around, maybe roll the ankles around. And take a little snooze. I wish we all had that time. Maybe you do. Awesome. Take a nap. Love it for you. If not, thank you for being here on the mat today. Or workout, not just mat, but I was on the mat, so I said that. We'll see you again soon for day 4.